Hey, what's going on, guys? So today, this is the last episode of Last of Us. It was a little bit sad to see the show go a little
Yeah,
bit.
definitely. Well, we're talking about it. We have reviewed every single episode of this series, so this is like a big part of the beginning of our channel.
Yeah,
I feel like in the future, if when we get big, we gotta be
yeah,
confident. We're gonna be able to look back at the series and be like, oh, this is one of the first series that we actually reviewed the whole way through. So that was gonna hold a special place in our heart. So yeah,
I think this one and you.
this one on you,
Yeah,
for
you
sure,
it
yeah.
definitely feels
Especially
like part
because
of the
like
show.
you had never watched it before, and you
Yeah.
watched it, you started liking it and all of that.
I think we definitely gotta get a you and Last of Us poster for the room.
I think we have not being serious. Like
Yeah.
I think we should as well. So yeah, but great ending for
Yeah.
sure.
There's gonna be spoilers real quick, obviously, every episode.
Controversial ending to a lot of people, and not like controversial and if it's good or not. Controversial like what Joel does. This has been one of the most controversial decisions in any video game, and now in a show version. So I mean, before we get to that, let's talk about the beginning of the episode. At the beginning, you see that Ellie's obviously still dealing with what happened in the last episode. So obviously something super traumatic, and she kind of realizes that they're getting to the end of the journey, and she's thinking about everything that she has gone through. I feel like you can tell she's kind of nervous that if it's gonna work or not, because if the vaccine, the cure is not able to be done, then everything that happened to her was for no reason. She feels that survivor's guilt with her friend, with Sam. Everybody has that on the way. So this is the first time that we see her like down, and we see Joel, the one that's like talking a lot. In the last few episodes, he kind of should accept that this is my daughter. So it's just cool seeing Joel like wanting to talk to her, asking her questions, making jokes, him being the lighthearted one. And would you say that it felt like a bit sudden that he was so talkative? I think the reason that I would say that it did is because the last episode he was barely in it because he was injured, and then the one before was a flashback.
I think it'll be more because I think he noticed that she was down. So he was trying to push him more.
Yeah,
That's kind of like the sense that I got. I wasn't like, oh, this guy's just doing. I think he's still like himself, but he noticed that she was down, so she just wants to like.
Yeah,
just wants to keep
nah,
going.
that's what I was asking. I didn't really have a problem with that much, but I saw some people mention it, so I just wanted to know your thoughts on that. And obviously that scene with the giraffe is one of the most iconic ones from the game, and they were able to do it beautiful in the show as well. And you kind of see Joe ask her like, "Oh hey, if you're down to leave right now, we can go back to Jackson, forget about all of this, and just live a life together," which kind of shows you that Joe and I really cared about making the cure. He just did it because he knew it was gonna benefit him, and because Tess wanted him to. And now that he actually cares about it, he's like, "Bro, I'm super down to let's just be father and."
From what we know about Joel, he just doesn't really. He knows that that's not gonna work. Like he's probably like, bro, it's been 20 years. Like this has probably been happening about the cure. So to him, there's probably no cure, and he's developed this relationship with this girl, and he doesn't really know how the cure is gonna happen. So he's also nervous a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was definitely interesting seeing kind of like how the dynamic switched and seeing Ellie a little bit off and Joel more excited. And that was interesting. We've seen them develop a lot through the show. And we'll talk about it more in the season recap. But it was really beautiful. Like I would say, like to be honest. And then once they got to that place,
it got to a place pretty quick. I mean, this whole episode was super fast paced.
That's another thing. I don't know if that's a negative or a positive. It just felt like the whole season took its time, and the episode felt a little bit rushed. Which we've seen that with all the Disney Plus shows, and not in the same way.
Of course, yeah.
It's not that it felt rushed in the sense that they were just like, oh, okay, but it was more like it was fast. Like the ending was just fast compared to all the episodes. It not necessarily rushed. I think there's a difference. You know what I'm saying? And when they got to this place, when he found out about that, he's like, bro, I'm not doing that. Like no matter what, like I know there's a cure, but and. I guess we can talk a little bit about that. Like, would you have done that?
I asked my dad about it because obviously, I really wanted to get his opinion because, I'm not a father. So I don't understand 100% what it is to, like, hear that your son or daughter is going to die. And he said, like, it's tough. It's funny because I had a feeling that he was going to, like, have a tough time answering it because logically, obviously, you think, oh, you let them die because it's a possible cure. But when you're a father, it's just different, man. It's that's your whole world. Your son or your daughter, and to hear that they're gonna kill them, your first instinct is like, I can't let that happen. No matter what happens afterwards, I just gotta protect my kid. We have that instinct as humans even to just protect the people that we love, and that's what I think that the episode being fast helped with the fact that it kind of showed how it was such a radical, like in the moment decision for Joe. Joe didn't really think about it. He just said, "Oh, I can't have this happening." He went back and he didn't care about what was gonna happen afterwards. Because a lot of people debate, "Oh, what would have been possible to make a cure?" Did Joe think about the? No, I don't think he thought about any of that. He didn't think about it was gonna be possible. He just said, "I can't let Eddie die." So, me personally, I understand. Obviously, all those doctors didn't deserve to die. No, they were just doing their job. But it's hard for me to blame Joe for what he did.
Yeah, no, but that's the character. It's not nothing negative against like obviously like the show. Joe just did what he thought he had to do. Like he did kill it. That's the way he is. The thing with Joe is like finally the person that makes him happy, they're gonna take her away from him.
Yeah,
and he's been spending like almost a year at this point with this girl. So it's like, of course, he's gonna react that way. Yeah, but obviously killing people, that's not okay. But like, he's not really even thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like, that's just what makes the show amazing. Makes you, it's really tough because I think the characters in it are real and they do real actions. Like everything that happens in the show is like, you can definitely see that happening, especially like in a whole like outbreak like this. But yeah, man, like what a great ending to the show, I would say. Yeah, a little bit fast. But I'm excited to see them more in the future.
I think season 2 is gonna be fire. You know, we can talk a bit more about that in the recap. But I should say in this because we have been saying it the whole time. This is the best video game adaptation of all time.
Absolutely.
Sean Chandler was saying that this is now the new standard for video games adaptations because everybody about said, "Oh, it's hard, this and that," but this kind of shows you that it's possible, and it did a great job of adapting the story and still changing it enough. And this episode was another great example of that. They stuck to the game a lot in the episode. Obviously, some lines were changed and all that, but overall, an amazing ending. And I could not be more happy with the way they did it. So
yeah, no, for sure. Like, what an incredible show. We'll talk a little bit about that in the season recap. But wow, like incredible. It does suck that it's gonna come to an end like this. Like, I don't know when next season's gonna come.
I think it's gonna take a 5 minute.
Shouldn't it be? Does Ellie grow up?
Yeah, it takes a lot of years.
Give it a second.
A lot of people are actually questioning that, but I feel like so like, subscribe, comment, let us know your thoughts about this ending and the whole show in general, and peace out.